No, they can't hear my voice because the thing is doing the thing. I didn't change the name. That's on me. I put the wrong thing on. If you give me a second, hold on. Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
There were technical difficulties. Well, they weren't able to hear us this whole time because I forgot that Streamlabs likes to just do what it does.
What it do, baby boo?
Resets the default audio input.
Ah, this shit's good.
Okay. I think we have two options. We can either settle for the shitty, not shitty, but the wrong name, or
I take that shit personal.
I meant we
I'm
can
taking
settle
that
for
shit
the wrong
personal.
name, or I can make
Personal.
a shitty like cover up for it.
No, it's personal.
Okay. Well, we're here now.
I don't know what the personal thing means, but okay.
Because I made
I don't mean it shitty. I meant if I did a shitty cover up for it, or we can leave it how it is. Either way.
I don't think our stream's going through.
Oh.
Let's see.
I think it's going through on my end.
Let's see.
I think it's going through on my end.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So am I going first? Is that what we landed on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't.
Maybe we should introduce everything.
Yeah, I wasn't here for the last one. I'm a little out of it. I just woke up from a nap. So, welcome to Blurred Roundtable. Someone else that's not me, please talk. I'm begging you.
Hi there. Hey there. Hi there, Ho here. It's me, your boy, Hi Ho Silver. We are back at it again. Last week, we weren't here. Why? Don't ask questions I don't have the answer to, but we're here now, and that's what's important. And this week, we're bringing back a classic, a PowerPoint night, General. We have no idea what each person has prepared, but I have prepared myself to tell you who we is. Me, Hi Ho Silver. They, them. Next to me, either diagonal to me or above me, is Amelia Som with the blue tinted hair.
I am below
Also,
you.
there we go. Also, either next to me or adjacent to me, we have Chino, the man, the myth, the legend, the only him to ever come on to the Blurred Roundtable stream. And we're probably going to keep it that way because you can't get better than him. And then finally, either above me, next to me, or adjacent to me, is Momo Scariot, the queen herself. And now, when I say PowerPoint night, the presentations you'll see, dazzling. The humor, immaculate. The choices, yet to be decided upon because I don't know what these bitches put on their slides. But we're all gonna have fun together. Welcome to Blurred Roundtable 522. Amelia's going first, so watch her do what she do.
Way to save the show, Parker. Wow. Single-handedly. Okay.
Right. So up first is Amelia with I think you told us, but I already forgot. You gave us a sneak peek.
Yeah. Oh wait, how did you guys do the sharing? Did you guys see it, or did you just watch it on Twitch, or how did you guys do that last time?
I just watched that. I think we each went. I don't know. I was in control last time, so I watched everything in real time. What these bitches did, I don't know what they did.
Amazing.
That's up to them.
I just really was winging it. I don't see anything on the screen though, Amelia.
Yeah, it hasn't transitioned yet. It should be there now though.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was asking. Okay, so why Danny Phantom is perfectly.
I like how our title update
and deserves what? Oh yeah, there's a lot of animations and deserves a Riverdale-esque style live action reboot. Brought to you by someone who rewatched the whole series not too long ago. Don't ask me why I did it. I don't have a real reason. It's only 2 seasons. It's on Netflix. So this is an overview for those of you who might not be familiar with the plot of Danny Phantom. So, young Danny Fenton, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine designed to view a world unseen. He's gonna catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. When it didn't quite work, his folks, they just quit. Then Danny took a look inside of it. There was a great big flash. Everything just changed. His molecules got all rearranged. When he first woke up, he realized he had snow white hair and glowing green eyes. He could walk through walls, disappear, and fly. He was much more unique than the other guys. It was then that he knew what he had to do. He had to stop all the ghosts that were coming through. He's here to fight for me and you. He's gonna catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. He's gonna catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. And in conclusion, he's gonna catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. Oh no, it didn't go. Wait, hold on. Wait.
I mean, low-key, we can't see any of this.
I can.
But the performance was immaculate.
Oh, it was. The word Danny Phantom was supposed to slide across the screen. It didn't. So let's break it down to details because I want to give you guys the cold, hard facts.
Also, hi, Daydream.
Oh, hi. First, let's talk about the format of the show. This plot structure of Danny Phantom is conducive to a Riverdale-esque style reboot. I would like to clarify, I've never seen an episode of Riverdale. But I have seen people post GIFs and clips of it, so I feel like I've got the gist of it. Danny Phantom is essentially a monster of the week, but make it ghosts. So that is very repeatable. Most ghosts feature in several episodes because they don't die, so that would allow you to continually recycle the same characters that are fan favorites. It allows for any characters killed off to come back as ghosts because you could kill literally any player character, not player character, but any main character. They could be a ghost, good or evil, whatever you want. And you can cycle in and out the fan favorite ghosts from the series, and there's room for new ghosts because there's like 13 ghosts in the whole series. I did not recognize that when I was a kid, but on my rewatch, it's like the same ghosts show up like 3 or 4 times in a single season. Second point, a time travel plot already exists. That's hard-baked into the Danny Phantom lore, which means you could just go absolutely crazy when you run out of ideas. The shark has already been jumped, okay? It's just there, it's ready to go. Ghost is a very flexible term in Danny Phantom. Things that are ghosts. A lunch lady. A racist nerd. Literally Pandora, like the goddess. A genie. A computer virus, I think, guy?
Yes.
A werewolf that speaks Esperanto. A whole civilization, a whole-ass civilization of Yetis. Vampires? I think that one guy, Vlad, just kind of became a vampire when he became a ghost for reasons that I think are entirely aesthetic. An entire middle-aged fiefdom, including a princess who could transform into a dragon, I think when she got angry. And the ones that are sad when you think about it. A pop star, Ember, you will remember her name. Someone, a Daydream, yeah, there was a wolf ghost who only spoke Esperanto. Not making that up, that was just in the series.
He was my favorite, okay?
He's a good one.
He held shit down, all right? Yeah. He was a real nigga. Like, that man was black.
And then the other thing is there's an entire boat of ghost pirate children, and when you think about that too hard, that's really sad.
Oh, no.
No, a lot of Also, I will say, I don't know if you said it, but there is the genie who taught us about consent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had a whole line. She was like, "No one shall touch me unless I wish it." And I was like, powerful.
We love to see it.
I forgot her name, but she was
Desiree.
like the one that's...
Her name's Desiree.
Yes.
Yeah.
She comes up
so
later,
wish
don't
it,
worry.
so shall it be.
Improvements for oh yeah, so that is to say you could really do literally whatever you want, include any type of magical creature or monster or anything remotely weird, and it still kind of works in canon, so it'd be perfectly fine. Things that would improve the show as a live action reboot. Only benefits from aging up, okay? Some of that shit should not have been happening to 14-year-olds. There was, like, some weird, like, Sam's outfits. Why would you draw a 14-year-old in that low-cut skirt with that low-cut top? It was weird. It was weird. And the forced marriage thing, I was like, why are there so many grown-ass adults trying to seduce teenagers? as ghosts. I guess they're grown-ass ghosts, which again is a whole weird thing. I just think you should age it up. You get rid of that problem altogether. A lot of it was horny and seductive because little 9-year-old Amelia was seduced, and present-day Amelia's like, that's weird. A lot of autonomy that kids don't have. I don't know. They just did a lot of kid shows. They have hijinks where they go off and do things, and I was like, why the fuck would you let a 14-year-old do? Who's letting 14-year-olds do this? If they're older, it's totally fine. Next thing, someone should fuck a ghost. It should happen.
Amelia.
That's why they need to age it up. They need to be fully grown consensual adults on ghost sex. It should happen. Also, the implications of evil Danny. Like I said, there's a time travel plot where his evil self from the future comes back to the past, which is interesting.
First of all, can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Not to be horny on Maine, but young Parker was feeling some sort of way about evil Danny, and I feel like that awakened a subset in me that persists to this day.
I don't think you're alone in that. I think that's a very common occurrence. And the funny thing too is evil Danny is like 2 feet taller and way more buff than regular Danny. He also has fangs. So I think that in live action would be really funny to me because either they just straight up get a whole new actor or they did
because he was like 20 years older or something. So he grew. I remember this plot specifically. So what had happened is that Danny's family died in an accident.
Oh my
God. So basically he cheated on a test and a ghost showed up. Yeah, a ghost showed up where the teacher was going to confront the parents about Danny cheating, and because something with how they stored fry oil, it exploded, everyone died. Danny couldn't save anyone. And so he felt the guilt and he was like, I don't want to be a ghost boy anymore. So he goes to Vlad, and Vlad's like, I'll separate you from your ghost self. And so he does. But when he does, the ghost is just the embodiment of all his negative emotions, which is amplified by his grief. So the ghost, amplified by that grief, then turns around, separates Vlad from his ghost, and merges them together to become a super evil ghost where Danny's ghost is the main consciousness, kills normal Danny, goes on to take over the world.
Okay, I do want to address a question in the chat. Vampire Man was not older Danny. Vampire Man was the man who was in love with Danny's mom.
Yes.
Who then she left for Danny's dad. Or they weren't ever actually dating, I don't
They
think.
weren't. He was
requited. It was very incel-y. Very incel-y.
But I will say, I got it. Even as an adult, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I would be a little mad if someone picked dumbass Jack Fenton. Jack Fenton does not respect.
I feel like
Vlad, whatever.
It's also because
he wasn't yet a billionaire, though.
Yeah, true.
Was he? No,
he wasn't.
In the beginning, he was just like another lab partner, right?
Yeah, he was.
What Jack was,
but
though,
was
a well-meaning idiot.
But the thing
is, well-meaning idiot, though.
Drink, respect women, Jews. The entire time he watches the show, he never listens to his wife first. And I'm like, at what point do you not respect yourself, Maddie? At what point you don't have to get with Vlad, but you have to get with someone who's not a dumbass. Yeah, you're too confident.
But older...
can I make a suggestion for this trio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know Jack, right, and Maddie, they get together and whatever, happy family, whatever, right, and that the almost uncle, right, like always bears a grudge towards Jack, no?
Vlad.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I'm bad with names, I'm sorry. Was I?
I'm the expert here, it's
fine. Maybe I'm stretching, but do you sense, I don't know, kind of like queerish vibes from Vlad? I feel like there's a possibility if you're aging it up, if you're making it more mature.
The thing is,
no? I feel like there's
the
like a
reason
triangle.
why I couldn't do that is because Vlad, on top of the Maddie thing, which is not justified, the thing that is justified is the reason Vlad got fucked up is because of Jack Fenton, because Jack Fenton didn't and like scarred his face. Like he mortally wounded this motherfucker. He gave him
like,
yeah, and like to the point where like his face was like melting off or like close to shit like that. Like he mortally wounded this motherfucker. So I was like,
yeah.
No, I was like, you know,
and then he took his girl.
I'd hate that motherfucker for the rest of my life too.
I cannot participate in this discourse because I did not realize how little I retained from Danny Phantom.
I didn't realize it until I rewatched it.
I have rewatched it over
this is like brand spanking new to me. It's like I never saw the show before in my life.
Yes. The other thing I want to support is I want Tucker to get a better personality because that motherfucker could catch hands.
Yeah.
He was the most annoying. I watching this, I was like, you see this motherfucking bitch trying to kill your best friend, and you're like, I'm gonna take her to prom. What type of fake ass bitch is that? Fake.
Yeah. So
how would you scale up like the whole tech thing? Because he always had like that PDA with him. What is a PDA to us nowadays? Like how do you convert that?
Yeah, he'd have a souped up
he mines Bitcoin.
Yeah, he'd just be an Apple.
They probably would have to set it in the future where like a lot of these things are like readily available, like a data pad that's like holographic or something.
I would also think you would make it so like, because the thing in the show, one of the plot things for new episodes is usually his parents, his mom or dad, make some new item to catch ghosts, and it either like malfunctions or there's a ghost that messes with it, and then that's the plot for that episode. So I think you could also do something with Tucker helping invent and create these tech things. So he's not just obsessed with tech. He just is interested in it, because some of that stuff also didn't age well. Like they make fun of Tucker for like playing video games and stuff, which was like very common in the early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
But now that's so commonplace. That's not really like you play first person shooters. It's like
yeah, because
okay.
Tucker was an incel before incel was in the vocabulary.
Yeah.
True. Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
What network would this be on? Because that definitely does kind of project
CW.
What direction we're going within the show.
I think the CW could handle it well. The problem is, I want it to
or
be
a Netflix original.
The thing is, I think if we got a Netflix original, we could get it gayer than it originally was, which is always my agenda. And also to circle back on the Vlad thing, I don't think he was super queer coded, but as I've mentioned in my last presentation, well, I wasn't there to mention it, I do strongly believe in queer coding villains. I think it's good for queer people to have evil people to look up to in life.
Can you expand?
No, that's we can circle back to that later. I still have to finish this slide. Other things.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, shitty CGI. The ghost powers are so widely distributed. You could actually adjust the budget for high and low CGI episodes with little difficulty. And I think it would be really fun. I really do want to watch shitty ghost CGI, like the little ghost sets and all of that. I want to see how someone translates the ghost zone into live action. There's no wrong way to do it, in the sense that there are many wrong ways to do it, and I am happy with any of them. My expectations would be on the floor, and I would just be... It's the same way I feel when I go into watching a shark movie. We all know what we're here for, right? You can't...
Yeah.
And last, trans Danny. If you've ever followed any of the discourse, you notice the whole metaphor for Danny being trans that was unintentional, but also very weirdly apt, despite being unintentional.
It was so good.
It was so good. It speaks for itself. It would annoy Butch Hartman, who was the creator of Danny Phantom, but it would delight Danny's VA, whose name I forget, but was like, yeah, Danny should be trans. Love that for him.
Also, yeah, this is... I don't know. Actually, I'm going to make this a blanket statement. This is a Butch Hartman hate account.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%. Let's see what's next. Oh, gay reasons. Right. It's its own separate agenda. If you did not have a crush on at least one ghost as a child, you are lying. You're lying to yourself. You are lying to us. You are speaking untruths. You sit on a throne of lies. And I frankly won't stand for it. Young Amelia.
I can't tell you if I did or did not, because I genuinely do not remember anything that happened on the show.
I do, very clearly. Specifically, Ember and Kitty. I fucking love Kitty.
Yes.
Now. Desiree, the genie ghost. Yeah, even the evil psychiatrist who turned into a shadow monster. Tell me that's not gender entity.
That shit was not hot. I don't. Once again. Hot. Shadow Lady makes sense, especially when I'm into Venom now. It all connects.
It all connects. there is a lot of Nick. Oh, I should make a PowerPoint about Nick shows making people gay. I know they say people are born gay. No. I watched Teenage Robot and Danny Phantom and specifically Eris from Sinbad and the Legend of the Seven Seas, and then full out lesbo from that moment on. And this is an important reminder, I think, that we need to. There was a Toilet Man ghost. Yes, there was. Thank you for asking. Yeah, not all of the for the basics.
Amelia.
Is that me?
I think so.
Okay, I'll try.
Like, it only happens when you talk.
I don't know what to do about that. Okay, I'm gonna try like refreshing, I guess. Oh wait, I think that might be hi-ho.
What am I doing?
Because I'm getting the green light when it's doing the like feedbacky clicks. I'm gonna refresh my page though, just in case.
There's so much happening.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Everybody just poof.
I lost Momo. Is Momo gone for everyone else?
Yeah. Momo just fucking dipped.
Oh, I can put up the technical difficulties screen. Fuck, no, I can't.
Oh,
okay,
it says,
no,
Momo's back, yeah.
Okay, I think we're just
Okay.
gonna hope that whatever issue that was fixed itself.
Can Amelia turn up the volume, please?
Yeah, the volume of me or the other people?
Aday, who do you need pumped up? Who's kicks?
I feel like it's Amelia.
Yeah. Well, I turned up myself, so let's hope that's better. Okay. Now we get to this slide, which is a very important reminder that I think that needs to be kept in mind when you're rebooting any show. Danny Phantom wasn't like a good show. Like, I mean, conceptually it went off, but like the dialogue was written like someone who had never heard a teenager speak. A lot of the plot was so contrived and so bad. It was fun to watch. I'm glad I re-binged it, but like, let's call a spade a spade. Because what more could you want? Strong concept, non-sacred nostalgia, you know, like the idea that like, oh, everyone likes Danny Phantom, but like, no one's going to be heartbroken like an Avatar The Last Airbender reboot. If that turns out bad, everyone is upset. There's such high stakes. The stakes are in the ground. The bar is on the floor. You kind of want it to happen, but you're not emotionally invested. And limited source material, just because there's like so few ghosts and it's just you could do whatever the fuck you want and it would match with canon. Like,
also
perfect.
There was also a good amount of representation already that they can't fuck up.
Yeah, like you can't make Paulina white. You can't go back and undo that. Fun fact.
She is clearly like her accent. Wow, beautiful.
The VA for Paulina is the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Amazing.
I did not know that.
No way.
Yeah. Perfect candidate for a live action reboot when we combine all of these things together.
I think the feedbacky things is back for you, Amelia.
I don't know what to do.
Let me see. Is it? It can't be me.
No, I think it is me. I don't know how to fix it.
Should we all like turn on and off again?
Nah, it's gonna be through Streamlabs probably.
I do not have any questions. I actually have a lot of questions, but it's because I don't remember the show.
See, this is why you should have studied for a pop quiz. This was a pop quiz and you failed.
Unfortunately. Like, I only woke up this morning and saw Amelia was doing this, and I was just like, well, I'm sure I remember, like, some things from Danny Phantom. I did not.
You should have read the wiki.
I did not remember anything.
Yeah. Do you have just any questions at all? I'd be happy to answer them.
No, I think this would be actually a really great idea for a Netflix reboot. I do see the CW doing this. Ah, fuck. I think it might be me actually. The feedbacky thing. I do see Netflix doing it. I don't really see.
Yeah, I started muting myself when I'm not talking. It's a little crackly.
Better?
Yeah.
Hold on. Better?
I think so.
Let me see if it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through my mouth piece thingy. Fuck, it's even worse now.
Are you?
Yeah, skip me. I'm gonna figure this out.
Silence. I have no notes. I gave my notes during the presentation.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Chino, what about you?
You're muted, hon. Everyone's sound just fucking straight up. I can't hear you. What did you do? I think we should take this second to move forward.
Yeah, I do want to respond to Aday's question in the chat, which is, would this reboot be open to the wider Butchman verse? Any Tough Puppy and or Fairly Odd Parents references? I never watched Tough Puppy. I would not be opposed to... Well, I don't think Fairly Odd Parents work. I don't know of a good way to do the fairies live action, but we could do references for sure.
I think we could do references. I think if it was like the TV one, the Fairly TV one, I watched a little bit of Tough Puppy because my brother and I are the distance apart where I just kind of kept watching the same shit. I think Tough Puppy should be a show in the universe. Like, they could watch Tough Puppy. I think that'd be a great, like, in thing. I think Tough Puppy merch would work. And yeah, that's what I say.
Okay. I am going to try out a thing with the audio sound, so bear with me for a moment.
Okay. The Hollywood and villains are the most competent people. So, so therefore, ipso facto, we can be heard on stream. So ipso facto, in the endo, we deserve villains to be queer coded because we deserve to not have anything be subpar. We have the best fashion, we'll have the best plans, and we'll have the most competent people. Shigo, she was the only bitch that had it together on Kim Possible.
Only bitch.
And that is the end of that.
Yep.
And if I may add on, it is the end of that, but I would like to say, just because I feel so strongly about queer coding villains,
yes,
is that Young Amelia thought it was great when Hot Lady be evil. And I think young kids today deserve that same feeling of watching Hot Lady be evil.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amelia, I sent my thing. It should be in the shared folder. And you are just going to have to click when I say click.
Okay. Are you going next?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. I had a question of what we could do so we could actually see everyone's, because when Amelia was doing yours, I couldn't see anything until it came up on like the actual stream 15 seconds later. So is there like a Google Drive doc thingy that we could all see?
I can share it with you guys because I've shared it before, so I'll share mine.
Oh, wait a second.
Okay.
Let me try something too.
I actually can't see the stream either. So.
Yeah, so it's like
you're
a
just
personal thing.
going entirely off of verbal.
Yeah, I've just been, trying to listen like nicely.
Have you just been vibing
I'm just
this
happy
whole
to be
time?
included. Yeah.
That's fair. Dear stream, this is why we need more queer-coded villains, because we as gays are struggling. If we had more queer-coded villains to show us the way, we would not struggle.
Can you guys see the stream now?
Yeah,
Yes.
tiny
Yes,
in
I
the
think so.
bottom thingy.
Yes.
I can just make it big, right? Oh, I can. I was excited.
I think the comment in the stream is for you, Parker.
Oh, hey! Oh, whoa! Oh, hey! I know exactly who you is. You're so fucking funny on Twitter, though. Love it. That's great. That's amazing.
Okay. Okay, so you all can see the presentation. I can see the presentation.
It's very tiny, but I can see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could blow it up.
Yeah, you can make it larger. There's
a
full screen button. Okay. There we go. Here's my presentation, motherfuckers. Hi ho, the Pokemon gym leader, aka today's hyperfixation. I will let y'all know my original plan was to elaborate on how I am attracted to people, from gender envy to monster fucking light. I'm not a monster fucker, but I am monster fucker adjacent. To and all other things. So if we have another PowerPoint night, that will come through. There were great examples. Because unlike Momo, I'm not a little bitch and I will show my simplest. But today, at one point, I just wanted to draw myself as a Pokemon gym leader. And then I did that all day after I ran my errands and worked on my business. So I just made it into the PowerPoint. Also, first of all, happy World Goth Day. Here's one of the hottest women on the planet, Teresa Fractal, a goth model. Appreciate her beauty. Appreciate the fact that I did this. We can move on. Mm-hmm. Me, as a gym leader. First of all, this is me. I drew me. There's me as a gym leader. I would be genderless.
Love them.
To the point, there would be no reference to me, to the point where if we translated it, when they translated to distribute in the United States, people would argue about what my gender was. There would be discourse because they would so thoroughly keep me ungendered in the game. And that's just the way I am. As you can see from my choice in clothing, I am a goth, hence why I just made sure we all realized today was World Goth Day. So we would have obvious like night themes. You would see like people who can't see, there's like tiny moons holding my overalls. I have a moon necklace in my shirt. I actually have holographic silver docks sandals that look very similar to what I drew. I'm wearing literally a moon-shaped overall currently.
Amazing.
And as you can see, my hair is silver. This is very accurate to who I am every day of my motherfucking life. I would be cute. Look at me. look at that. It's amazing. My gym would be like a research center / library theme. So it'd be really cool and big, and that's all. And my type is Ghost Darkfire. Like I have a lot of combo types. And so we're gonna go through my roster.
Okay.
First off, we have Murkrow. I love him. Fuck Honchkrow. I have never evolved him. I grew up in Maryland. So Edgar Allan Poe. Every time I get a Murkrow, I name him Edgar Allan Murkrow. So that's just the way that is. He would be on my shoulder. So you would come into the gym and he would just fly off my shoulder to start the battle. He's my version of Pikachu. Of course, my Murkrow would be sassy, so it'd be great to watch. And my Murkrow would never be knocked out. At 1 HP, comes back to perch on my shoulder and relax. I don't fuck with that knock out my baby shit. No. Next slide. Next is a Marshadow. Purely because this is the cutest motherfucker I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
This motherfucker is 3'3", is a little dark punchy punch, Marshadow like marshmallow, cute as fuck. Will punch a bitch out, and that's really. And he would go to avenge Murkrow, and that's beautiful. That's why he's second. Next, a Alolan Marowak specifically. Beautiful.
Damn.
Comes through, 2 of my babies have been defeated. Comes through to dazzle, dance, revive spirits, help me get back into my groove so I could talk some shit. My emo child. I love skulls. I paint a lot of skulls. I own a lot of skulls. It makes sense that I would have a skull baby. Also, would take this time to educate on land back and indigenous respect. As a child of West African immigrant, as a Alolan Marowak, clearly being an indigenous variation of Marowak, I would take this time to just make sure any white person near me would just be like, first of all, we're not going to do is fetishize ethnic practices. What we're not going to do, we're in a library, so let me teach you something real quick. All right, show some respect. And if you don't show respect, Marowak will beat your ass. Will beat respect into your ass. And that's just a little. Next Pokemon, Chandeleur. Murkrow and Chandeleur are my top 2 favorite Pokemon of all time. I actually have. Can I move my head? In the back above me is actually a Chandeleur above my one of my living room lights, a plush.
Cute.
3'3", big floaty baby, literally the shining light of my library research gym. Quite literally, the shining light. Really gives everyone a run for money. Ghost fire type, very, very strong, as you can see from this Pokemon card. Will burn this bitch to the ground. That's it. The color palette, my favorite colors are black, silver, mint, and like lavender. Like solid. Like light blues, like teals. Like, so obviously this is my color coded bitch. This is like, oh shit's getting real. And so that's when people thought like, oh, I think we can take him because, I don't really deal with all Pokemon. No, this is my main bitch. And then finally, next one, Spectrier. From Galeria, the new one, the one that's based off London. I understand this is a legendary, so I really shouldn't have it as a gym leader, but like, consider.
But.
Please cook. Black excellence. Therefore, I will have a legendary in my lineup.
Okay.
Honestly, you seem like the gym leader that I would like be fighting, and that I felt like I was gonna lose, so I like turn off my game and I don't revisit it again for like a year.
That's fair, and I respect that. Amelia, you can click again. So, Spectrier, the most elegant ghost I've ever fucking seen in my life. Beautiful color palette, immaculate, eyes closed because it doesn't see the bullshit, right? Also, I would ride this bitch through the town. I would be ethereal. I'll be dope. I'd be unperceived. Also, I wouldn't lose. What would happen is if it got to the final one, I would take that moment and be like, I understand you are doing well. And I would give them the medal. It'd be a sign of mutual respect because I'm not doing my babies dirty like that. Letting any crusty, dusty person come 5 times a week to try and beat my ass, I'd be like, all right, we can't do this. And so after this, we would go back to reading or doing art, whatever I'm doing in my beautiful area. So in conclusion, please click. This is me with my lineup.
Nice.
This is what I spent all day doing. I was like, it's time.
Amazing.
So, yes.
I think it really tied the presentation all together. Like I said, equally as important.
Yes. Thank you.
I love them.
Thank you. I love them too.
This
also,
is so cute.
Size accurate.
I never realized the chandelier one would be so big.
Right? Like, I guess it makes sense because it's like a chandelier, but I guess I just assumed a tiny little lamp.
Nope. It's, it's 3 feet 3 inches, and I don't know if that includes the flame or not. So it's either bigger or smaller than you think it is. Yes.
Damn.
All right.
Also, Ade, yes, please start calling them They My Pikachu. Any questions, concerns?
No, I don't know a whole lot about Pokemon because my brothers played the games, and I would just take it, catch a Ninetales or a Vulpix, and then immediately lose interest. So I love the color palette you're working with. Feels very Parker. Feels right. I wish you the best of luck in your gym endeavors to be the best like no one ever was.
Thank you.
Like, I'm just interested in like what kind of gym leader you think the rest of us would be. Because yours is just like so accurate to self. Like, I almost don't believe that you are not a gym leader.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I would need time to marinate to like look at, because there are 850 of these motherfuckers now, so it would take a second.
No, I don't mean like actually like what our lineups would be. I mean like you would obviously be like a dark poison type like leader,
right?
But I don't know. I don't think like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's dark ghost fire. That's my main.
Sorry. I made a mistake. Dark ghost fire type, but like the rest of us, I wonder what you would think the rest of us would be.
1 second.
You don't have to answer the question now. I was just wondering.
Okay. I do think Amelia is dragon flying.
I see that. I do see that. Yeah.
That is very solid.
Feels right.
Chino is fire/fighting. I see you with a Blaziken. There has to be a Blaziken in that lineup. Especially because that means you could cook food at any moment.
At any moment.
Because you have enough fire types and like especially Blaziken, they're just kicking with you and just y'all chilling. Momo, you definitely have. I think you have like grass ground.
Grass ground.
Like grass ground. Like I can definitely see you with oh shit, who does not the pumpkin, the one that is the tree one, would definitely be in your life. Is it Trico? No,
I don't remember.
Yeah,
he's like a gecko.
No, I'm thinking of the one that's a literal
like
tree.
A little tree. Hold on.
Like a big tree. And then you would definitely
have
have
a
this
guy. Sudowoodo?
Not Sudowoodo. Oh, let me motherfucker.
Tree Pokemon. I'm Googling it.
Phantom?
Yeah. Phantom is the baby, and it evolves, I think.
Yeah, but the baby ones are the only ones worth it. Also,
not Sudowoodo.
No,
is it Executor?
No, it's Trevenant.
Repeat that.
Trevenant.
No. Like I'm like low-key shallow. Yeah. Like first of all, Bulbasaur out of the 3 starting ones, I do always go to Bulbasaur. It's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah,
but I almost exclusively go to water Pokemon because my first Pokemon ever like game was Pokemon Diamond, and I picked Piplup because he's so cute.
I want like an Alolan Ninetales. I'm happy with any Ninetales, but
I also think
basically
I think you would have a Roserade though, because Roserade is very beautiful, but will fuck up motherfuckers straight up. Straight
Me
up
or
fuck
Amelia?
up. You, Momo. Like I just
Oh yeah,
imagine,
that was one of my.
I
That was
imagine
one of my
a man
go-tos.
walking up to you with your Roserade, immediately getting paper cuts up the ass. Like
In my Pokemon Diamond, I did have like I think it was Rosalia. Is that what they called it? Like
no,
Rosalia one, Rosalia might have been
a
that.
Rosalia? That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, I had that. A Baneri because so cute, and a Piplup. Actually, I just picked the cute ones now that I think about it.
That's the best way to play Pokemon.
What I would always do, I would. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason I give you a Trevenant is because Trevenant is the one, like your bouncer Pokemon. Like you have all your cute ones, and then Trevenant's the one that carries you while you walk away, or just comes out of nowhere and fucks up motherfuckers.
That was my Empoleon.
Mm-hmm. But that's I'm glad after the very in-depth Danny Phantom, we can keep it like kick it.
Yes.
Yeah, we can relax with something that's less intense than Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
But this is just like so like scarily accurate to self. Like, oh my god.
Talk about knowing your
almost
brand.
Uncanny Valley-esque.
Thank you.
All right. Who's up next?
Oh, is it me up next? I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is my PowerPoint movies I, a certified movie hater, adore and have seen multiple times. Please click, Amelia. First we have Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Obviously look at the cover. Beautiful. Next slide, please. Mine's pretty quick, I think. So this movie is Cinderella, but just for people with taste, obviously. This is my favorite movie. Like it just is. It was my very first memory. I literally remember where I was the first time I saw it. I was 4 years old in preschool, the Friday before Father's Day weekend. That's how iconic and special this movie is to me. I did think I was going to look like Brandy when I was 18, and that didn't happen. I don't know whose fault that is. I think I'm going to blame my parents for their genes. The best song in the entire movie is There's Music in You, and the most underrated song is The Princess Getting a Ball. I will not argue with that. It's just simply facts.
That shit slaps like no other.
Next slide, please. Temple Grandin. I don't think anyone here has seen this movie, but I have seen it multiple times. It's a biopic of an autistic woman that becomes one of the top scientists in like the humane livestock industry. I watched it in 10th grade and I sobbed in class. It was actually really jarring for the rest of the classmates, but I really loved it so much. Claire Danes stars as Temple Grandin, and this lady to her left is the actual Temple Grandin. Yes, real woman biopic. Sorry, mine is really quickly. Sorry. Oh yeah, go ahead. The next movie, Attack the Block. Next slide, please. This is about an alien invasion in South London, and a street gang of teenagers has to stop it. Has anyone seen this movie?
No, but I'm excited for the sequel.
Oh my god, this movie is just so fucking good. It has some of the most iconic. It is the most iconic monster I've ever seen. I still think about it to this day. It is just like this mass hump of muscle and fur. Huh. It almost looks like a gorilla, but it is like
too animal for me.
I think all you can really see is the glowing blue teeth, because it's just like so black. It's like what, Vanta black? Is that the word for it?
Vanta black, yeah, it's black.
Yeah, Vanta black. That's like the blackest black. It's terrifying, and I love this movie so fucking much. The sequel was just announced this week, and I have not been that happy since like 2012. Yeah, 2012. This was John Boyega's debut movie, and I knew that he was going to be a star from the moment I saw it. You can go to the next slide. I think there's only 6 movies on this list.
I'm already on it. Chronicle.
I can't. Okay, it popped up now. Chronicle. Has anyone seen this movie?
No.
Yes. This one, yes.
Thank you, Chino, for having taste. Because
Fuck you, Momo.
no, fuck you guys. This movie is amazing.
Listen, some people don't have access to things sometimes, and they have ADHD, and they forget they want to watch movies.
I don't think I ever have seen any of these movies legally.
Oh, see,
I haven't seen any of these movies legally.
I'm merely afraid of breaking the law.
Well, technically, it was my teachers/parents that were breaking the law. This is a found footage film about 3 guys that accidentally get telekinetic powers. It is beautifully active, beautifully shot. Like, and this film did break my heart into a million pieces. I can't spoil it for you. I expected at least some of, like, all of you to have seen this movie because it is iconic. You are breaking my heart. This has kind of put our friendship on the rocks. I'm totally kidding.
Oh, that's fine. I'll never speak to you again.
No, I love you.
Yeah, we share a brain cell, bitch. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, unfortunately, we only have one brain cell among us.
We train it around.
Like the eye and that, like the fucking
the
Hercules movie.
People, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are these people believably high school students?
No.
That's debatable. But is this movie good? Yes. Next
My
slide,
favorite thing
yes.
is Michael B. Jordan's career, because this is around the time where that nigga was in Bones, and that something about that, like the fact that I watched Bones and I was like, Michael B. Jordan's in Bones. I like that.
Valid.
Also, I like how all of those people are in superhero movies. I think now.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I mean,
the one on the right was in the not Tobey Maguire, the middle one, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He was in the.
What about the guy on the left?
Is he Theo from that one movie with that one bitch?
He looks,
no,
but no.
That's a different white man.
Slightly
listen.
off.
White people look the same sometimes.
Harry Oswald. That's the name. Yeah. The first guy, not the second guy.
Who's the guy on the left?
On the left?
No, not the guy on the left, but the guy on the right. That's a character in Spider-Man. A Daydream pointed that out.
Yeah. I don't know who the left motherfucker is. He looks like some bitch.
Yeah, no. Almost Theo James. Almost.
Yeah, almost. Discount Theo James.
Amazing. Okay.
Okay. This is where I leave you. Underrated movie. I couldn't bother trying to explain what this movie was about, so I just took the synopsis from like Google. But essentially, if you don't want to read the whole thing, it is about 4 siblings that have to return home after their dad dies, and it's just kind of like hijinks that comes out of that. Did I watch this movie because of Adam Driver? I'll leave that up for you to decide. The answer is probably yes. The answer is yes.
Have you seen
You're fooling not a single person.
I was gonna say, have you seen Inside Llewyn Davis? Because Adam Driver does make
a brief
cameo.
I have seen that movie.
Please, Mr. Kennedy. Underrated song.
I actually have like a bunch of the songs from that movie on my like playlist just because it relaxes me.
It does.
This is about a Jewish family. I don't know how many of these actors are actually Jewish. I think Adam Driver has a career because he looks Jewish but isn't.
He just has a big nose and
because
big
this is
black
his
hair.
Second,
That's it.
This is his second role that I know of where he is explicitly a Jewish person.
Yeah, he's not Jewish though. I don't think Tina Fey is Jewish.
No, I am almost certain
I'm not
Jay
sure.
Fonda is not Jewish. I feel like I would know that by now.
I can't remember the plain guy's name with the beard and the hair, but I don't think he. I think he is. He might be.
Guy. What's his name?
I don't know.
Jason Bateman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he Jewish? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Also,
I'm not sure any of these people are, but they do play a Jewish family.
I do want to circle back a little bit. to the guy on the very left from Chronicle.
Yes.
I looked it up. He wasn't in the Shailene Woodley one. He was in The Host, the other YA novel that was turned into a movie. And apparently he's on the TV show SWAT with the motherfucker not Morris, Shamar Moore. So apparently he is doing well for himself.
Good for him.
Well, congratulations, dude.
Couldn't tell him dick from balls, but
well, you know, Hollywood always needs more generic white men, so I'm glad he's found his niche.
Also, all of these movies are in order of them coming out. Did I watch them all in that order? That's no, but they are chronologically in order. The Star Wars and The Force Awakens. Sorry. Did I watch this movie because John Boyega was in it?
Absolutely.
Did I write a Kylo Ren expo reader? I don't fan fiction.
So you're telling me you put your simplest on blast?
I was about to say this.
But you would tell the entire motherfucking world that you wrote.
You just admitted that.
I was about
no
to
problem.
say this.
No one would
reader. There is nothing on your simplest that can go worse than that.
You would be surprised.
What in the hell?
I want to know. I want to know.
Myself.
We'll save that for a backyard co-night. Before you say it yourself, I want to say, did you consider doing the exact same thing but with their characters from Inside Llewyn Davis?
No, I did not.
I
did not.
Okay.
Let me defend myself, though.
You can try.
So it did end with the reader stabbing Kylo Ren through the abdomen and pushing him off a cliff.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Much? Yeah, but how many words was it? How long is it?
Maybe like 30,000.
Dear
bitch,
you wrote a book.
Damn.
You wrote a whole
30.
ass book.
Huh? Can we read it?
Oh, it's like deleted from the internet. You can't find that anywhere.
Wayback Machine. Everything's there somewhere.
You cannot find it.
Momo, what do we gotta do? What do I have to say to get you to put it out there somewhere? We don't have to say it's you.
You're not gonna find it. You're simply not gonna find it.
But you have it. There's no way you deleted it from everything. You deleted it off the internet, but there's no way you don't have it because you don't just write 30,000 words and throw it away.
I do have like a hard copy and like probably like a Word file somewhere, but you cannot find that on the internet.
I know.
Like, anywhere.
How do we get this out though? How do we spread the word? How do we spread the gospel? The good news?
I'm ready. Martin Luther.
Yeah,
I'm not. Not y'all snitching on me.
Gonna go up to Skywalker Ranch and just nail it on the gate.
My nigga, you snitched on yourself first.
It's between like the stream, which is like 8 people, and no one else will ever find out.
Unless we make a TikTok about it.
I swear to fuck, if you guys do that, I'm blocking all of you. Chino, I swear to God. I
might. I don't know, dude.
You
never know.
I will expose you.
This reminds me of something else, but I gotta wait off
Some
stream.
Cold War mutual assured destruction bullshit. Like, oh my God.
Like, I will not take any prisoners. All your shit's getting aired out.
Dear
what shit do you have on me?
Not on you.
Oh, okay. Well, you said all your shit's getting aired out, so I was like,
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Chino over here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
what have I done?
If you make that TikTok, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight publicly.
I pride myself on being a pretty unproblematic person.
That's why he's the only he/him here.
Yeah.
Valid.
That privilege does not come lightly.
High standards.
I just sit here and try my best. What do you have on me? What have I done?
Well, I'm not gonna expose you here. Obviously.
Okay, we'll save that. We'll talk post-stream. Next slide.
We'll talk post-stream. I'm not gonna do that. Do that publicly in the middle of the stream. Yeah. Also, this is my favorite.
Fans who are watching, so.
This is my favorite Star Wars movie. Was it the most original one? No. Is it the only one that I like paid to watch in 3D and with moving chairs twice. It is
moving chairs.
With moving chairs.
No, the move like.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
you
no,
guys
I know
forgot
what you're
those are,
talking
like,
about. Where they
so
slide and
cute.
like
Okay.
when things happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the good shit.
Huh?
There
They
are
have,
movie
like, chairs
theaters
that,
that
like-
have like big recliners. So basically, the seat is like 2 feet wide,
Oh.
and you can like pull it back, and it's like kind of
Yeah.
a bed. Which is, I'm just gonna say it.
Mhm.
Some of us
No,
are like
No,
even
no,
past
like,
us.
I'm talking about the ones that, like,
shake.
literally
like
shake
I saw
and
Jurassic
move.
World with moving chairs because the other one was
Okay.
sold out.
Oh.
They were like,
Different
oh, we were
experience.
paying the big
Uh,
bucks.
Never
listen,
mind,
I
we're
was
not
getting
talking-
vulnerable, so let me continue. Some of us have ADHD. Some of us are chronically fatigued. Sometimes those chairs are a trap and niggas fall asleep. Could I tell you what happened during Lego Batman? No. I can tell you
Did
if
you
it's
sleep?
comfortable.
throughout the whole movie.
Of Lego Batman, yeah.
You could probably guess the plot.
It was I remember waking up like for a second once, and then I was out like a light. Let me tell you, once I fell asleep during Koto. For those who don't know, Koto is a live performance event that is taiko drumming. I fell asleep during that shit too.
That is
shit-
really relaxing. That's
that
valid.
shit was rhythmic and beautiful. They had like this whole thing with moons, like, and they had like light up skirts, and it was with the drums, and they were moving, and I was just like, it's time to go. It's time to see Jesus and have a cup of tea, and then I'll come back later. It was beautiful. Continue.
I think that might be the last one. I don't
Seems
actually
like
remember.
It's the last slide, yeah. Any
Is it?
closing remarks?
I will not. You will not find this fan fiction anywhere.
I just
like,
don't
you can't,
understand why you would tell us it exists if you didn't want us to see it.
because
it
you're not
seems-
gonna. You
It
can't
seems
find
like
it.
subconsciously you
We're
wanted
not
us
asking
to
to
know.
find it. We're
and
asking
you
you
wanted
to
to
give
share
it
it.
to us.
You might not want to share it with everyone, but I feel like
30,000
in
words.
this space, you wanted to
30,000.
exchange it with your friends.
Yeah.
It might have been like between like 20,000 and 30,000. I actually don't remember.
This is
That's more than one
This is
word.
about
That's a
friendship.
lot.
This is a safe space. We would never
Yeah.
tear you down.
Mhm.
We would never make fun of anyone's interests here.
Listen,
We would perhaps
Maybe
critique
post stream.
constructively.
Post stream.
Okay.
What do I have to say for myself? First of all, I was like 18 when I did this.
that does not help as much
No.
as you think it does.
But I will
That- I
say,
I feel like at that
That was
point,
like
critical
6 years
instincts have
ago.
been
if you
formed.
share it with me, I'll read the whole thing.
I don't know. Was this?
I will as well.
I'll read the whole thing. I will read it with a critical and open mind.
I will literally take. You see this cat right here? 1 second. We're gonna travel.
You're not gonna read it. You're not reading it.
See this cat right there sleeping? I will read it to her. Vaughn, do you want to read about some fan fiction? Vaughn's
But
is
I'll
ready.
no.
You're gonna deny fonts? You're gonna deny fonts now.
Like, okay,
That's
I might like send it to you guys in like a Google Doc.
Okay.
that's all we're
I'll
asking
accept
for.
it.
Yeah,
That's all we're
I'll
asking for.
accept it.
Yes.
I appreciate you. Momo.
like post stream, of course, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Not gonna get crazy.
Like,
One step at a time.
Listen, I'll sign an NDA if I have to. It
Yeah.
won't be my first one.
I love signing NDAs. They make me feel so important.
I just, yeah. You read them and you're just like, okay.
Okay.
That's it. So
Last but certainly
those are
not
the only
least-
6 movies I give a shit about.
I'm going to direct a movie and then I'm going to have to make you make that list 7. That's a new goal in my
Okay.
life.
Gauntlet Throne. Chino, you ready?
No, I'm getting actually really nervous right now.
Okay. Well, cut
Okay.
it out.
We can do
Like,
Momo's question of the week.
Oh
Give
yeah.
you a little second.
So
Let's
a
pull
bit
this up
sorry
here.
before I even go with the question of the week. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I like lost my train of thought. Oh God, holy fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Like it was kind of insightful and just like completely left my brain.
Mm.
Oh, also I don't have a question of the week this week because I forgot.
Make one up.
A question of the week. What would your starting set of Pokemon be? We're gonna narrow it down. We're gonna make it 4 instead of 5. I think it's usually 5.
I don't know enough about Pokemon.
You can just name all the ones you know.
Well, yeah, but some of the ones I know are ugly.
You can't set a precedent and then let people down, especially because I already did my whole thing on my setup.
Well, I told you I didn't have a question this week, and you told, and I was told to make one up. That was that I made one up.
So I will pick up the gauntlet. If you, here we go. If you had to write a fan fiction that
featured 2 Star Wars characters.
No. I got distracted because I saw something outside. You had to create a fan fiction, and it had to make Steven Spielberg cry. What is your fan fiction?
Probably
the one you wrote.
Steven Spielberg cry.
Yeah,
it'd probably
be
be like
of laughter, tears of shame, whatever type of tears you're aiming for, but tears have to come.
Probably like a Quentin Tarantino x Steven Spielberg fan fiction.
Damn.
Like I think it would make him like sob. What?
I would sob.
Damn, that cutthroat.
Ooh.
Cutthroat.
What? Like I feel like that was rather tame.
Something about it that hit different.
I don't know, dude. I feel like at some point Quentin would undoubtedly, I don't know, like want to sniff someone's foot. And if I read any written piece of work about about him trying to do anything to one of my feet.
Yeah, listen, it's not all about looks.
I would sue you.
You'd sue?
It's not all about looks, but Quentin Tarantino's face is so hard to look at.
Yes.
I think it's because it's a manifestation of his personality.
Yeah.
And you're just like...
If he were a less shitty person, he'd be better looking.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, listen, Road Doll, long may he rot. But that one, like, part of the witches where they're like, he's like, because you're ugly on the inside, you'll become ugly on the outside. And, like, because you're beautiful on the inside, it doesn't matter what you look on the outside because you will become beautiful. Quentin Tarantino really was like, let me see how much this translates by becoming literal piles of human and dog feces. And guess what he looks like? Melting shit.
I do remember what I was going to say right now. And I remember. So I was saying, because I did not release my simplest, I had to make up for it by exposing myself just a little bit.
Okay, then I forgive you.
Fair.
Okay.
Oh wait, also to answer Momo's question, I feel like Steven Spielberg would be the kind of person who would like maybe like cry or feel emotion at like a 3-hour drama based on something like the Hindenburg explosion.
I accept that answer.
Yeah.
Chino, you didn't answer. What would your fan fiction to make Steven Spielberg cry be?
I don't know, dude. I haven't read a fan fiction since Big Time Rush was in existence.
Wait, hold on. No, let's go back. Rewind.
Yeah.
Hold on. You read a Big Time Rush fan fiction?
Yes. 1 or 2.
Content. What kind?
Context, please.
What do you mean context? What do you mean content?
Who
was it like an
the ships?
reader?
Like, what was going? Was it with the reader? Was it with each other? Like,
what was happening?
Remember that much? I remember it was like not in the universe. It was like those characters, but taken out of their.
We love it.
Pause.
Set in like a different.
Pause.
What?
You read Big Time Rush AU fan fiction?
I
don't know what AU means.
Alternate universe.
Alternate universe.
Ah, okay. Yeah. 1.
I adore you.
This is why you're on this stream.
This is.
Is that good? I can't tell if this is a good or bad thing.
Ajay agrees that Big Time Rush fan fiction would probably make Steven Spielberg
it's just
cry.
It just like I just have a lot of feelings about this because I was just like clowned 10 minutes ago for doing fuck mother, what the fuck was that?
Well, let's keep it clean for the children.
Yeah. This hurts.
Momo was trying to get some retribution, and the stream was like, silence.
No.
Oh. Shut it down,
The stream
bitch.
said, be supportive of Big Time Rush fanfic.
Right? It was like, the stream itself said, we don't talk shit on Big Time Rush in this house.
Not in this house.
So, watch your mouth. I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. To make Steven Spielberg cry, I would have, like, a 500,000 slow burn fanfic between, like, that like explores the human condition, that like teeter like goes and like it goes through the ages, so it had one level of reincarnation, like so like so deep, right? And I'm sorry, I had to take a break. And it would be so deep and heart-wrenching, but like that, like it would just touch his soul, right? But the pairing would be Barney ex Godzilla, so he could never speak about it in public.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining the I love you, you love me.
Barney ex Godzilla 500,000 slow burn reincarnation fanfic speaks on the human condition.
And a kiss from me to you.
Flawless execution. He could never speak about it in real life. You can't talk about it. Can't do it. Especially because he's made too many Jurassic Parks. People are going to think something about him too. You'll be like, yeah. So he would cry because he could never speak about his favorite piece of literature. I trapped him. It's tears of beauty and frustration.
We can't hear you, Momo.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. I just realized what shook me so much about Cheeto's fanfiction reveal is because I didn't think anything else would like outdo the shitty fanfiction I wrote. But the fact that you read that like makes me feel a lot better about myself.
But he didn't write
really?
it.
Is that worse? Oh,
no, it was just more surprising. Like I just would never have expected you to say that. That's just it.
Fair. I've never met this man a day in my life, so this is my first impression of you.
Yeah,
it's a good impression.
I've also never read a fan fiction. Fun fact.
You haven't?
Damn.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I only read really problematic pairings and power dynamic fan fictions.
It's one of those things where like you want me to trust you to read. Wow.
I read a lot because I was doing research for something, and I was doing genuine research because I wanted to see if my theory of screenwriting just being like fan fiction was like accurate, and I was right.
Yeah.
But then I kept reading fan fiction because it was really fun.
Yeah.
I will say
understandable.
I will say I do write romance novels, so I don't write fan fiction, but I do write romance novels. I do write. I've written poetry. I've published poetry, and it's really funny because you can't find it because it's under my dead name. So, bye bye. I have the poems. I could probably, safe. Yeah. I was like but I will say the audio. I will expose myself. The audio that was going on from The Crown. The one is like Camilla is what I want. Yes. That is where my loyalties lie. I was like thinking about it, and then I spaced out ADHD wise, and then because I've been reading so many manhwas, I was like, I came up with an entire manhwa webtoon that I now want to write, which is the plot is it's called The Witch Chooses a Tyrant, and
I like this.
Yes, the plot is this kingdom, as we know, people like always go after witches, right? This one witch marries the king of a kingdom to kind of like help create like an underground railroad situation where she like says like, oh, because they always had to decapitate and burn witches so that their like mana didn't infect anyone because they could curse someone with their final breath. So she's like, oh, I found a way. You just like poison them and then we can burn the bodies and it'll be safe. Turns out it's just a sleeping thing. And she creates this like thing to like smuggle people and smuggle the families out because they like burn the families as well to get rid of the bloodline. So she's been smuggling people out and she marries the king, so she has this power, right? She has a daughter. Her daughter's living her best life, and then she's like, you know, she like cares for her daughter. She's just like teaching her morality things, and she just goes like she'll read stories and like one of the things, because this is another thing I saw on TikTok and I was like, oh, I understand. She reads it in like a little fairy tale and she's like, oh, I want to marry the prince one day, like the tyrant's such a meanie. And she's like, no honey, the prince is like a gardener, he'll tend to the kingdom. The tyrant is like one getting a bouquet, will sacrifice the entire world for the one flower. Always choose a tyrant.
That does not seem like good advice.
Well, it's because like the tyrants always do whatever the fuck they want because they're like, you know, the whole thing of like a tyrant would like sacrifice the world to save you. A king would say sacrifice you to save the world, and you're like, fuck it, like fuck monarchies. They're only here to like keep the power and systems of oppression. So she like tries to save like, and she's like, okay, whatever. She doesn't understand like that she can't use her power. She sees someone in pain, tries to heal them. People catch on. So the king's like, oh, you're a fucking witch. You're like the wife's a witch. And like the mom's like, oh, I wish I could have told you more, da da da. And she's just like sends her away. And like the daughter sees her, like her mom and her father like had this huge fight of being like, you know, similar to that Camilla thing. It's just like, you don't love me? It's like, I love my kingdoms. Like, you think I'm evil? It's like, you're a witch. It's like, what about your child? Don't bring our kid into this. It was like, okay. And what about our love? Is like, I can't love a witch and I don't love my child either, and like kills her. And the daughter's just like, fuck this shit. So she goes to the kingdom that, you know, where the underground railroad was supposed. She grows up and she's like, I'm gonna take down everybody. I'm gonna make the world safe for witches. And she's like, you know, they create this whole thing where she's a princess or whatever. And she's going and she's like picking, like she has to find like someone to be an emperor by her side. And she picks a tyrant who like, you know, doesn't follow the rules and just like does things to save his people. And so the witch chooses a tyrant. And so like, you know, and there's like gonna be a scene where, you know,
if anyone steals Parker's idea, we're all going to fight you.
Yeah, I was like, wait, does this already exist or is this just a thought?
Well, it's like a plot. But yeah, my favorite scene that I want, well, first of all, she has her lady in waiting who's going to be a super hot femme, like a super sexy gothy femme.
That, wait, like, don't reveal any more on stream. Someone's going to steal your whole ass shit.
Well, then, bitch, then I get to read it and I don't have to do the work.
I know, because I was like, I need you to get on this because I was hoping... Yeah.
I'd like to read this.
Actually, while you were talking, because her lady in waiting is like a lesbian, so like she like one of the things like the queen like she's like, okay, I need to pick the best person, so she has a really hot like lady in waiting to see if anyone tries to hit on her or do shit with her, and like she's like, none of these men are good enough. It's like no man will impress you, and her girlfriend's like a soldier, like one of the like knights, so she just has a really hot like knight girlfriend.
God, I wish that were me.
But like the big like impactful season finales, you know, I was thinking about is like, you know, because the mom was like, a witch is most powerful when she's helping people, helping others, and like she does something to help a bunch of people, she passes out, and like the tyrant sees that and just goes like, well, like a witch is the most powerful like when helping others, but who helps the witch? And then he takes that moment to decide, I will be your protector no matter what, and like swears his life and all that stuff, and then they you know go and break the system, free the witches, all that shit.
Kill the prince and the king.
Yeah. Of course, there's gonna be a great revenge scene with the king, because that shit's gonna be great. Anywho, I don't write fan fiction, but I do write very complicated romance novels.
Damn.
I just played
That's
Dungeons
good
and
shit.
Dragons.
Which we will soon.
Yeah. Oh, I had a thought about that. I don't know if we talk about it on stream or off stream. Because I was like, if we want
no, off stream. Okay. Off stream.
Okay.
Animorphs.
Oh, it's time for Animorphs.
Oh, okay.
Gino,
okay.
You're up.
Is it me now?
It is you now.
All right, it's me now. Okay. All right. So first, disclaimer.
Hello?
It was made into
Oh, we can't hear you.
I can
hear him.
Oh man.
I can't hear him at all.
I can hear you now.
It's just Momo. Momo has to suffer.
Oh, okay. Is it? Do I wait or
no? Just let
Momo's
Momo
frozen
can.
for me. Oh no, you're not
Yeah.
frozen. You're just.
Momo can
I'm
watch
just
you pose.
hello.
hi?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just say. So, anyways, first, right? So it was turned into a show that I have not watched, but this show was made like, dude, I don't know, early 2000s, late 90s, around the same time that these books were being like published, right? When I say if it gets made into a show, I mean like rebooted type thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know by who. I don't know what channel I want to see it on. I feel like if it's made the way I'm like thinking, it'd have to be like HBO or something. You know what I mean? I feel like this would not be on like cable. You know what I mean? Because
Prestige.
not necessarily the prestige, but I guess the way I'm looking at it is a little bit darker than the way it is presented. So, anyways, right? So I just graduated college right in December, and since then I've been kind of on this thing of like, thank you.
Congrats.
I've been like, trying to like rediscover like hobbies and not having like three jobs and like classes and stuff like that, right? And I kind of like by accident stumbled on like the Animorphs books, which I never finished as a kid. I never finished them because I had other things that I had to do for school, right? And so I started reading the books, right? And I feel like you take away from the series as an adult is so different from what you grasp as a child, right? Like
Have
you're
you
just
seen
watching it and
the
sort of like
TikToks of the
like
person who
action
redraws the
scenes and shit.
covers?
Hmm?
Have you seen the TikToks of the person who redraws the covers to like have them actually morph, not like shitty Photoshop morph, but like redoes the art?
No, I have
Okay,
no
well,
idea who that is. No,
well,
please send me those though.
Okay.
But anyways, if this gets made into a show, I watch the fuck out of it. Okay, we can go to like the thing, the next slide.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay. So quick intro. I'm pretty sure we all know like how this goes, except for Momo apparently, who never read the books.
I
I'm
also
very
didn't.
disappointed
Never read
again,
the books.
Momo. Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Not at all?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, like I have to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I have to get into this. Okay, look.
Thing.
So basically, right? There's like this invasion going on, right, of Earth by this like race of like slug-like aliens, right? And so like the way they're kind of like fan art has like drawn them, it's like they look like what is the snail without slug. Yeah, no. There's something else that I'm thinking, but whatever. They're like
worm?
gooey,
No, you're right,
bluish,
slug.
grayish,
It says
whatever
slug on the
type.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, I know that's what I wrote, but I'm trying to think other words, so I'm not just reading. Okay, but anyways, right? So they slip into your ear, right? And they just sort of like push through into like your brain, right? And then that's how like they control you, right? And so like once every 3 days, right? Basically they have to leave their host to go and feed, you know? And then after that, they like return to the host after like some feeding period. I don't know, a day, an hour, whatever it may be, right? So basically, you can like simplify the storyline into like it's essentially like galactic imperialism, right? It's these parasite aliens, right? They're just kind of going like planet to planet, taking things over to like what is the word, like increase their empire, right? And so we're looking at it from the point of view of like Earth and occasionally other planets, but mostly Earth, right? And so like the invasion of Earth is more or less where like the series begins, no? So like there's 5 human protagonists and that in this first book are made like aware of the invasion, like really traumatically, and then are gifted morphing technology, right? Which is basically like the ability to like become animals, like you see like on the book covers and stuff, right? By a group of aliens called Andalites, right? And so this is like the head of one right there on like Uncle Sam. They like got no mouth. They look like a centaur, but with like a scorpion tail, basically. And like they got extra eyes on the top of their head. And so essentially, right, they're gifted this technology by like like an Andalite, right, who is like in our part of the galaxy at that moment, right? but like he's like the only one, right? And so like between the beginning of the series and the point at which like the underlying like reinforcements come, there's like about a year's time, right? Where like it's just our protagonist like raw dogging like this survival game, right? So basically the way the technology works now is that it allows them to turn into like any organism, right? By like absorbing their DNA, right? So like you know walk up to like or whatever like an animal or like a cat, whatever it may be, right? You touch it, the cat goes into like a little like sleepy mode a little bit just for like a second, right? And then it's like top. You have like its DNA, and then you can like morph into that same cat, right? For up to like 2 hours at a time. But if you go past the 2 hours, then you're stuck in that morph, right? And so, anyways, okay, we can go the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, anyways, I split this up into like a few different like themes that I feel like the series talks about in a very 90s like tween to early teenager way, but as an adult looking at it I feel like it's just so obvious. It's like wow, like I didn't. Anyways, so first part, tragedy. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so I feel like one of the ways that this book like reinforces the tragedy of what like the protagonists are going through, right? Not just the protagonist, right? Because like this war is happening like all across the galaxy. We just see it from the point of view of like you know these like 5 humans, right? Is the way that the book repeats constantly the plot, right? The introduction to the plot. And so like from the point of view, I don't know if this is like purposeful or not, but from the point of view of the reader, right? It allows like these you know like they're sort of like grading into reading like age kids. So I don't know if it's like 10 and 13 or something like that, right? It allows you to pick up like any book in the series, right? And kind of be able to follow the story. But if you're like me, right, and you're just starting from like book 1 going through like book 54, right, there's this constant reinforcement of like, you know, this is what's happening. My name is whatever. I can't tell you my last name. Oh, so like all the books start with like my name is so and so, because it always starts off with like a different protagonist, right? So like my name is, I don't know, like Jimmy or whatever. That's my first name. I can't say my last name. It would be too dangerous. Da 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 da. And it's delivered like in a very like kind of corny 90s ish way.
Love that.
But in a way that as an adult, in a way that like as an adult, like it just kind of like is a constant reminder of what's been taken from like these protagonists, right? By just the coincidence of existing during a war, right? And so not just this, it'll be like, oh, you know, they have to fake not really knowing each other because if it seems like they're too close as friends, it might draw like attention or something. You know, the Yerks might like put 2 and 2 together, right? Come after them in their families. It's just like a bunch of stuff like that. And then something else that's part of like how the book is written is that there's always like this first person perspective, right? There's never like it never zooms out to see like a bigger picture. So you're always seeing what's happening in the books from the perspective of somebody who's like losing their mind, right? Somebody who's like shitting themselves, like they're constantly on edge, right? And there's like no break from that ever. Even like in the happier parts of the book, it's just like this unending, like unrelenting, just like you know what I mean? And then like I like the way it's written because it's like a first person perspective, right? It wouldn't I don't know that it wouldn't make sense. It would make sense to an older reader, but it wouldn't make sense to like the target audience if that first person perspective were too thoughtful. You know what I mean? Like there is like a child likeness built into these books, right? That kind of makes you sad a little bit when you think about like the perspective of like a child going through war, you know? Because these protagonists are all like in middle school also. Like they're not like in high school, they're not aged up at all. They're in middle school and it's made like very obvious all throughout the books, right? Okay. The next one. I'm sorry if this is getting like a little bit depressing.
I'm soaking all of it in.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
This is your PowerPoint.
So,
you don't apologize.
Really big
Do not
component.
apologize.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I love it. I tell everybody about this series. But anyways, and so like another really big component. Oops, where'd it go? Okay, so like another really big component of this is the constant reminder that what's going on is a war, right? So it's like it's never made in like it's never reduced to like anything less than what it actually is, right? So it's kind of not like Power Rangers, right? Where like you could think about like Power Rangers, it's like a fun way. It's like every episode it's like there's another villain to like battle, right? But they don't come at it from the perspective of like we are like the barrier between us and them. You know what I mean? And in this book series, in like it's not dumbed down, but it doesn't come off as like an adult novel. It's just sort of like we are in a war. The war fucking sucks, right? Kind of thing like that. But it doesn't like, I guess, like make an analysis of it, right? And so like this right here is a little cutout from the graphic novel, which I want to read, but I haven't finished the book series. I'm like on like book 30 something, like 50 something, right? And so like if you notice, right, what's drawn in like the little squares, I don't know what it's called, like cubes, I don't know.
Panels?
The speech bubbles?
Panels, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is actually like a pretty accurate like depiction of like what's going on in the books, right? So like the books essentially look just like that, just like with words, right? And so like if we go to the next thing. So I hope I got this word right. I meant like the quality of being candid. Is candor, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Candor, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I only know that word because there was the one Hunger Games movie. You know what I mean? That one.
Divergent.
Yeah, that one where they're all like it's like the Pisces are at war with like the Cancers and yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's the one, you know?
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Sounds accurate.
That one, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And so like just like the comic books, right? The violence and stuff, it's not analyzed, it's not emphasized, it's not like romanticized in a way. It's very much told from like perspective, like I don't know how to refer to it, but like I refer to it as like historically accurate, quote unquote, you know, where it's just sort of like relaying details, right? Exactly like as they are. In like a somewhat disconnected voice. What I mean is like in a way that they're like what is the word? Like neither romanticizing nor like having like a breakdown in the moment, right? It sort of feels like very much like a how you would respond to like a fight in real life, right? You're not processing necessarily like the emotions and stuff like that. It's just sort of like you know, I don't know, hook, jab, block, oh shit, they got a gun kind of thing, right? And they don't skimp out on the details, but they don't glorify them, right? So there'll be like bloody battles and stuff like that where it'll be like, you know, the head of something got cut off, I got shot in the whatever, you know, my guts are kind of like hanging out a little bit, right? But it's not like too much. It's not like a Tarantino movie or something like that, you know what I mean? And then they'll talk about like the after effects of this, right? Like the PTSD essentially. They never refer to it as such, which I think is important because these are kids, of course. Like what the fuck do they know, you know? But they'll talk about the PTSD in the moments after, or it'll be like just in the middle of the story, it'll be like, oh, you know, like I woke up in a sweat or whatever. And it's sort of like it kind of ties back to like the built-in repetition of like what's going on. It's sort of like, do you remember like Pokemon episodes where like each episode it's like they wouldn't remember what happened in the last episode and how it would make me so mad? Yeah, no, there's very much there's like a constant connection, right? It's like this happened, and they'll have like they'll have like recurring nightmares and stuff, like things and like past events. Nothing is like forgotten and just kind of like lost.
For a kid's book.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, but it's delivered in this very like 90s way. This very like kind of matter of fact way that I don't think you realize as a kid, but as an adult, when you read this, especially when you binge these books one after the other, and it just becomes really apparent to you what's being written on the page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, whoa. And it's, I put here like battlefield logic. It's like cold and like methodical in a kind of way, right? And that's sort of, I feel like, what keeps, I guess, like the target audience from like recognizing what's going on, because it's sort of like violence isn't I think the thing that's difficult to digest, right? It's sort of like the emotions tied to it, you know, the response to it. The violence itself is like, we see violence like in like Tom and Jerry, and because there's no consequence to it, right? I feel like there's no weight in a way, right? There's no reaction, right, that you get from it until you get older and you realize, like, you know, yeah.
Do any of the kids die in these books?
I'm not there yet. I tried so hard to structure this so that there's no like spoilers.
Oh.
There is death. Death is not avoided.
I don't know how kids were just like, oh my god, Bridge to Terabithia like scared me. This book series would scar me if I read this as a child.
It's just kind of very concise and quiet about the way it delivers these themes, though. You know what I mean? And it does have like a little bit of like little banter, a little bit of like, "Huh, your mom," you know, every once in a while kind of thing. But it doesn't stray away from this type stuff. It's so crazy. Like, you reread this, it's like, and I'm not the only one. I've like looked up other people who are like rereading this as adults, and it's like, and they're like, you know. You know, anyways, okay. And so my last thing, all right, the last thing that stuck out to me was, I used the same photo twice. Oh, whatever. I mean, if you want to read it, right, this is like a flashback, right? And you can see, because all the way at the bottom it says, like, I still dream about that night, right? So anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is the way they talk about the self, right? Because the way books are usually written, right, it's pretty much always like a first person perspective, and it doesn't move from that. There's no omniscient voice, nothing, right? So, all right, next thingy.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen.
No, you're good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, okay, all right. So because it's always like this unwavering like first person perspective, right? Which is, and it's always like either a human perspective or the perspective of like the one alien in their group, where he gets like introduced later a little bit, but he's also on their side, right? He's also like against the Yeerks, right? So you sort of, I guess, get like indoctrinated, right? In a way, and that's a strong word, but you get like used to the human view of this war, right? Of like, it's just colonization, it's just like a bad thing, just that's it. But as you go through the series, right, there are conversations that the protagonists have with like the opposing side, right? And so like part of the way they talk about morality, right, is you have to kind of like take a few things into account. First, the age of these kids, right? They're sort of like not all like developed yet. They're like what, like 13, 14? It doesn't specify, right? Because that's part of like the whole way these books are written. It's like, I can't tell you my name, I can't tell you where I live, I can't tell you what state, you know, I can't tell you how old I am, etc., right? And so anyways, where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going with this.
We can't help you with your PowerPoint.
That train crashed. Whatever, I'm just gonna go off of very morality, right? Okay. And so like slowly they introduce the concept, right, of how what the reader sees, right, like us, like humans, obviously, right, see as like a very black and white thing. You know, there's like oppressor and there's like oppressed. They introduce the idea that the morality involved in this fight is not quite so straightforward, right? And so at some point they introduce dialogue with like lyrics, you know. At which point the lyrics, there's like this one specific book where this one lyric gets captured, and she's like, fighting for her life, obviously against, they kind of like don't want to kill her because then you kill the host within her, right? And then her argument, right? She brings up points like, well, I'm a Yerk. We are parasites by nature. It is how I survive, right? Like, you come at me for existing the way that like nature designed me, and yet humans like uh like came into being as the same thing that we are, right? You've colonized each other, you've murdered each other. Like, your planet designed you to be like predators in a sense. How can you come at me for what I'm doing when you do the same thing to yourselves, to other species on your own planet, right? And it's sort of like they sort of like begin this conversation of like, well, at the point that you decide to draw the line, can you get to the line, right? Can you get yourself to this line of right or wrong or whatever that you decided that it is, Because for example, in the case of the Yerks, right, it's like they sort of require a host, right, in order to experience the world, And in the case of the humans, they like need the Yerks to get the fuck out of them in order to have like any kind of autonomy. Because when they're inhabited, like they can't move or breathe or do anything like on their own, right? Unless the Yerk allows, which they like rarely do, right? And so it sort of like brings into question what is or is not right or wrong. Who has the right to do what? What can you not do, sort of thing, right? And then it makes you think about yourself from the perspective of like this blind, like immobile, but intelligent, right? Sentient creature that is just trying to exist in the only way that it can, kind of thing, right? And so it sort of proposes, right, to the reader, it's like, what would you have me do? Or what would you do in my place? Like, you want to fight with me, you want me to die in order for yourself to live. How is that any different than me wanting you to like be my host in order for me to live, kind of thing, right? And like it's like consistently like confronted, right? Like, how far can you go before you draw the line and you say like, I have gone too far, even in the name of my own survival, right? And so like they sort of then justify, right, the protagonists justify the times that they cross a line, right, with the reasoning that they are like the only ones on the planet who can, right? They are like the only thing. And so they sacrifice, at times they sacrifice parts of their humanity, of like their innocence, right, because they're young and shit, of their youth, right, for the cause of humanity. But then a few times, right, they wonder in like no uncertain terms, like out loud very much, right, what happens if this is over, right? Because the two options is they fight and they die in the war, like they lose, that's it, right? And then the good option, right, is they fight and they win and they survive, right? And it's sort of like, at what cost, like what survives this war if I have to do XYZ thing in order to win it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And
And
so anyways,
justify the means.
yeah, exactly, kind of thing. So anyways, to close
So
off
the people, my
this kind
question
of like
is,
dark thing, don't binge these as an adult. You can't.
wait, my question is that I don't remember, because I was one of those kids where I was like, I could tell, I was like, this shit's gonna fuck me up, so I'm a dip. How conscious? I had those bells ringing so fast. I looked at that cover and I was like, no. How conscious are you when you are hosting?
Completely.
You're super conscious?
Oh, yeah, just yep. Lights are on. You're like moving around your house. You just can't open the front door.
Oh, because
Seeing,
what
hearing,
I'm saying.
smelling.
Sunken place.
what I would propose, listen, I'd be like, first of all, how about we learn about stem cells together? So that'd be my first step. Second step, why don't we have a nice partnership program while we're learning about stem cells with people who need, some extra abilities? I'm just saying, someone who is quadriplegic and the parasite's like, hey, I can take over and I can run this shit. Friendship, like Venom, but less like Venom.
I'm.
So there is, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm intrigued by the possibility of stem cells, like the idea of just like creating bodies that they can host. But like, what if then you have like a consciousness whose entire existence is just being hosted by the parasite?
Well, the thing is like the stem cells is just the body.
How do you make it just the body without a brain that works?
Because that's not alive. It's just a body. So what I'm saying is that like you can donate a cadaver.
Gotcha.
And then it can be like, let's work together. What I'm saying is like there are options. So like if they're so intelligent that they can do space. See, this is okay. I understand this is not the point. I am saying that I am now fixated on this. So what I am saying is that there are several options. We can have friendships where people whose bodies, Eddie and Venom, they can work together. We can create a system. There are people who are just like, yo, physician assisted gots to go, And then there's that waiting list, There are people who, or old people who are just like, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever. And then that's like, we have those situations where I think that could be a steady supply while we work on stem cells. Since they're parasites, they can take over. I'm just saying they have something that we don't. I saw a TikTok about it recently, and I have thought about it ever since. It is kind of ridiculous that we as human beings have done nothing to evolve to regenerate limbs.
Yeah. I saw that TikTok too.
We're being outdone by fucking newts. So what I'm saying is that like it's one of those times where I'm like, niggas can't talk. They can't be in the chords. And that's my solution. That's what I decided.
Two things. One.
So there is this. Oh.
No, you say your thing. You've been trying to talk for a minute.
Sorry.
I keep cutting you off.
Okay.
That's not you. It's me.
No, it's okay. So like with regards to like the like mutual, like you can take me over as long as I remain like autonomous once in a while, right? So there are specific instances of characters that are introduced where it's like a human with a Yeerk, right, living together, right? And then there's also another book which focuses on this like race of aliens. Okay, it's kind of hard to. They sort of get like blipped, like a different galaxy, like far, far away type thing, right? Just like in the middle of nowhere, by like these other like more advanced aliens that just need their assistance in the galaxy next to it, right? Where there is no Yeerk invasion, right? And so when they arrive on this planet, they quickly realize that the inhabitants of this one, right, seem to be like some kind of cousins of the Yeerks, where they have formed like mutually beneficial relationship, where they live together. Like that's just how they are. They're symbiotic, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring up that point. Yeah, they bring up that point, and they're like, okay, well, these like inhabitants are obviously related to the Yeerks. Why don't the Yeerks consider a possibility like this? And then the explanation given is by like the higher being, the higher alien, right? Is that it'll be like a few centuries before the Yeerks. Yeah.
Hi-Ho, can you mute when you're not talking? Because I think some feedback is coming from yours. Or it might be coming from his, but cool. Sorry. Continue.
You're good. And it's like it'll be like a few hundred years before the Yeerks reach these people and realize that there's another way. So like back on Earth, right, with like the current Yeerk Empire, right? Most of them kind of don't want to. They're of the opinion of like, no, like I am like the one in charge. I don't want like a halfway thing. I want to like command you. It is my right. And they've sort of been like indoctrinated a little bit, like the empire kind of thing. So that's why there's like a few defectors that like choose to live like peacefully with their host, but the majority of the species is sort of the opinion that like no, fuck off.
Gotta unmute.
Hmm?
It looked like they were talking.
I liked that I figured it out. I'm proud of you. Peace is always an option. Well, peace can sometimes be an option.
See, that's the thing, right? It's like a lot of the year's philosophy is built on this thing of like peace for us is not what peace for the humans is. You know, at one point they're very like, uh, how was it? They described a host as like a pig, the same way like humans view pigs, and it's sort of like you are that to me, like a farm animal. Are you going to stop eating bacon? And it sort of shuts up like the protagonist for a little bit because it's like no, and they're like, aha, well, a parasite will parasite. It's sort of like a thing. What is it, like a rock in a hard place kind of thing? Unmovable force and unstoppable something, kind of like that. It's like this is my nature, and the humans are like, well, this is mine.
Also, like, what's the nature of the war itself? Like, is it a full-out war? Do people notice kids are turning into animals? Is it a secret thing?
No,
So there are like these whole ass battles
that's
going
part
on,
of,
and then they have to like fucking go to class the next day.
yes, yes, they have to struggle to keep like themselves together, yeah, every day, while they like crumble apart and like see death and stuff like that. Yep. And I feel like in a way it might be like a metaphor for the way like trauma induced at a young age is kind of like what is I don't know what the word cicatrizad, like cicatrizated. No, that's not a word. I don't know how to say this. Like the way kids will fuck, what is the word? Like cover things in order to keep functioning. Like it just becomes like a piece of them, and they just kind of go about their days.
Suppress.
I don't know if that makes sense. Suppress, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, in order to like maintain functioning. Yeah.
I will say I've said this about horror movies all the time. I'll say this about this. I am not built for that. I would just be like, cool. I cannot be bothered. Cannot even entertain the idea. I'd just be like, word, bye.
It's there's points where like they have like a, I don't know, every like 10-15 books or so in the series there's like a prequel, right, that takes place in a planet or where like the protagonist is like a race that in the present day has already been like subdued, like the whole planet, and it sucks because you're like, yeah, and the whole time what's gonna happen, and they get there, they're like almost there, and they don't make it ultimately again and again, and it's just like, you.
That's just like Mass Effect.
I don't know what that is.
Mass Effect is a game trilogy where the Reapers, you find out later in the third one, the Reapers are these sentient AI that come through about every 50,000 years to harvest the biotics, which are like, living beings. So they take all intelligent alien races and like just harvest them and then go back to sleep because way back when they were saying, well, when humans and biotic or synthetics, which are AI, and biotics get to the point where like they both are reaching consciousness, they cannot find a solution. So the only solution is to kill all humans, or not all humans because it's all space. Kill all synthetic life, biotic life, and take what they've learned and build ourselves up more, and then just do this cycle. But like obviously, biotics fight back, and so there's like people are like, we do not know how long this has been going on. But
isn't it just Brainiac?
No, because each generation gets closer and closer. to like getting it, and so you play the final one. Like you're playing the final one, and there's like, oh, the Protheans almost got it. It's like, no, the Protheans were like not the first, nowhere near the first, and you're just like, we don't know how old the Reapers are. And you're just like, word. And then you get pissed off because no one fucking believes you or listens to you. And I was like, playing as a black woman, this is too real. Love that game though.
Amazing.
But so, anyways, that is the book series that I've been reading these past few months, weeks. I don't know.
Seems very heavy. You should wind
yeah.
down with some Danny Phantom.
I don't think it ends happily either. I'm like, there's still like 20 something books ish for me. I spoiled something for myself just now. I was like, fuck, and it was a big thing, and I was like, damn, that's heavy. I know that's gonna be heavy when I read it, even knowing it, you know. But anyways, questions, comments, concerns?
I feel like I've already asked all my questions, made my comments.
Like, I'm just shocked because this is first of all, this is the first time I'm hearing any of this. I genuinely thought Animorphs was just like some kids randomly turning into animals and they have to live life as animals for a bit.
It's just
and then like they turn back into adults. Like that's what I thought the whole series was about.
That's what it.
I'm sure there was an alien invasion plot.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is an alien invasion, and it's like
I never would have guessed.
Yeah, dude, because it's like they can turn into like dolphins and shit, and they're fighting an empire. Like they're trying to keep an empire off their planet until reinforcements go. Right? Because it's sort of like Earth is not categorized as like a priority at the moment. You know, they're just like we to the rest of like the galaxy. It's like, oh, they're getting there, but they're still like they haven't gone to the moon yet. Well, I mean, barely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're sort of like
a few times.
Yeah, and it's sort of like these few kids. It's like the only other like races who knew are all dead as of the first 3 pages of the book. So they're gifted this technology as a last resort. You know, it's like no one saw like the York Empire was like there already, right? So like the Yerks had gotten there first, and then the other people got their asses handed to
okay,
them,
wait, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
So why they're like allied aliens that gave the powers? Why did they give them to children?
Because they were passing by. Because of this, like, they were the only ones passing by.
Also because
were they all like? Are they all from the same town, or are they like all over different parts of the country?
No. So like it's some unspecified town, city, whatever, right? And they were walking home. This group from the mall. It's like there was 2 friends, like 2 sets of friends, right? Like one girl and another girl. This one dude and another dude. And then like this 5th guy that was just kind of there walking with them because it was like nighttime and they're like walking home from the mall, whatever. And they take like a shortcut through some abandoned construction site where the crash landing just happens to hit, you know, it's like, right? And that's where like the last survivor of this like space fight, right? Of like the fleet that just arrived is like, quick, you know, this is what's fucking happening to your planet. You know, we're like not supposed to, you know, like make humans aware of this because then that's like a whole like problem, whatever. But I'm literally like the last dude for like light years. You're all going to like fall, which is bad for his race, right? Because apparently like humans are just like extra populous. We like one of our main incentives for the Yerks is that there's billions of us, so billions of soldiers, right? Which is bad for the other races.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why like other races are sort of, you know, they're like, oh shit, that's billions of people to fight off. Of like
I understand
a side that's like a tide that's turning, you know what I mean? Like billions, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
And so they get the powers like out of necessity, just like out of like a really shitty coincidence.
I thought it was like,
yeah.
I thought it was like a Green Lantern situation where it's just like all over the country. They're just giving them to children for whatever reason. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Hey. Yeah, it's sort of like it's tragic.
It's terrifying. It really is. But thanks for sharing.
Yeah. You're welcome.
That's all of our PowerPoints. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Wow, good job, team.
I'm proud of us. Like, we had Amelia basically pitch us an idea for their own version of Danny Phantom, which I actually do want to see get made. That was amazing.
Right?
Yes.
Hi-Ho here.
Yes.
Literally inventing their own version of like a Pokemon gym leader that I don't understand how that's not real, because it feels very real
tangible.
already. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chino, you literally schooled us on Animorphs, where half of this team did not even know what happened in the series.
I feel like I have a solid understanding now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
God
like
damn.
a minute, but I'm really into this series, and I can't wait for like the graphic novels. Like,
I'm excited for you
because I know,
yeah,
from what I've seen, they're like a pretty faithful adaptation of like the way it's presented.
Like, it's just really scary for children. Like, I feel like this almost would have been a better new age adult series.
To be fair, that's the 90s.
That's
the
what I'm
90s.
saying.
You're right.
Fiction.
You're right.
You gotta learn.
You're right.
Fucking terrifying. Literally.
You're right.
But see, this is what I'm saying. I would want to see this on like HBO. Like this, I could not see it on like the CW, on like anything.
No,
it was the original series.
Shit.
Like the first live action was Nick, I think, but this is HBO shit.
Yeah, it is.
Shit. To like actually dive into what's going on, HBO.
And that's our end of stream. Next week, is it next week that we're finally doing our Dungeons and Dragons episode?
I think so.
Woohoo! I'm excited. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Me neither.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I will be a fairy princess.
And that's all that matters.
And Amelia, you have to teach me what the fuck to do, because I will mess this up, similar to
every group that I've ever DM'd for has been mostly new players, so I feel confident in my abilities.
Ooh, I just don't want to like pull a what is it, playlist night where I just like start inventing rules because I don't understand what's going on.
That worked out well for me. I'm still waiting for pens and postcards.
Yeah. I don't think it's because you don't understand what's going on. It's because you're a dirty cheater who always wants to win.
I think it's like a little bit of both. I think I'm being misrepresented in this slide. Anyway. I'm being misrepresented. But it like, might be a little bit of both.
It's still a bit of both. I mean, like,
also,
I'm not denying.
Just so you know, Amelia, they actually shut down mailing things internationally for I don't know what reason for a bit, and it's starting up again in June. So that's why you haven't gotten your pins.
Okay, I will be expecting them in June/July.
I mean, I tried to mail shit back to my house, and I like carried 2 massive boxes, and they're like, "Oh, actually, we're not shipping anything." And I'm like, "Oh,
cool.
That's great. I'll just walk this back up the hill."
Also, I will say, my birthday's in July.
Ooh, I don't know what zodiac sign that is. It's not Sagittarius.
I was like, you give Cancer vibes.
Thank you.
I'm
Everyone
a Cancer.
On my TikTok says I'm a Leo, and I'm like, where are you getting this from?
No, because my mom's a Cancer, and it makes sense.
Like, I'm a Cancer moon.
Just do not suffer fools lightly, as my mom would say. Wait, what day is your birthday, if I may ask?
Thursday, July 13th was the day I was born.
Okay. Cool. I thought you were just gonna say Thursday. I thought that would be funny.
Like that's not enough.
I was born on a Thursday.
I was born on a Thursday. I know. Well, I only say that because my birthday's the 13th. So
yeah.
Like, wait, are you a Leo, Amelia?
No.
Aren't you a Virgo?
I don't want to offend you. Then what are you?
I'm an August Virgo.
I said
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
You feel like a Virgo.
I know.
So air sign,
Earth sign.
Earth sign, water tribe. The three of us are water tribe, though. Woo!
Wait, Chino, what's yours?
Pisces.
Pisces gang.
Wow. Can't relate.
Neither can I.
Okay. That's all we have for you today, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. We'll see you next time. Next week with D&D.
Oh, happy birthday, Twin a day. See you in July.
Bye-bye.